By a show of hands, who here has a pet they go home to every day? Wonderful. Taking care of another living thing can have profound effects on us sometimes. For me, I had a lot of bad habits in my youth. I was lazy, I was inactive, I was shy. I remember Mom would say, "Kevin, go outside, stop playing video games." But that all changed for me when I got my first dog. I believe pet ownership can be good for you because it teaches responsibility, it's good for your health, it's good for your social life. Yeah. First, let's take a look at responsibility. I believe pet ownership can teach responsibility through personal experience. 15-year-old me was a very lazy me. But that's also when I got my first dog, Daisy. That's not her, but that's what she would have looked like back then, because I didn't think I'd take a picture of her back then. But I was over the moon about Daisy. I was so excited. I've always wanted a dog. But what I didn't know then, because I was ignorant and disillusioned to the responsibilities of taking care of her. She was way more work than I'd ever anticipated. I had to consistently walk her, train her, groom her. The old me would have hated doing these things, but the new me didn't mind because I cared about her and I cared about her well-being. With my newfound work ethic, it translated to other parts of my life, like my schoolwork. I attribute my better grades to Daisy. In an article for the Washington Post, Dennis Daniels claims that giving children age-appropriate tasks in the care of animals and reaffirming them with positive feedback helps them feel more competent and lets them boost their self-esteem. With my laziness came a very inactive and unhealthy lifestyle. That's why pet ownership can help you with your health. It's good for you physically and mentally. Daisy had to go on walks every day, which meant I went on walks every day. Eventually, these walks just became routine for me, and I went with or without her. It came time for me to clear my head. Even today, I go on walks every morning, but just with my roommate's dog instead, Valkyrie. That is her up there. Because of them, I'm getting more exercise and living a more active lifestyle than I would have without them. In a study at Michigan State, Dr. Reeves, a professor of epidemiology, the study of why people get ill, reported that people with dogs experience higher levels of physical activity than other test subjects, are more likely to spend 30 minutes a day exercising and doing physical activities like sports or gardening. In another article for Time Health, Mandy Oakland referenced studies where rabbits help people with stress, where horses help people with PTSD. Even crickets help senior citizens with their depression. Daisy did wonders for my health, but I didn't expect her to also do wonders for my social life. Pet ownership can be good for your social life because it gives you an opportunity to connect with your peers through this common shared interest. As a new pet owner, I had a lot of questions, but I was too afraid to ask them. So I turned to the one place I felt comfortable, the internet. I went to websites like Reddit and Tumblr, and there I found a coalition of pet owners with years of experience who were more than willing to share their knowledge with me. Through this way, I made lifelong friends that I still talk to today through my pets. According to Mintel, a marketing research company, 47% of pet owners believe having a pet is better for their social life than social networking sites themselves. They go on to explain that the days of going to your local pet shop owner for advice are over. And more people are turning to online forums and social networking sites for their information. In another study called the Pet Factor that looked at the relationship between animals and building friendships, if you look at this chart up here, it goes on to explain that in a community in San Diego, 51% of those people met a new person in their neighborhood because of a pet. Of those people, 27% regarded this new person as a friend. And of those people, 41% reported some form of social support from their new friend. They concluded that animals can play a very critical role in building long-lasting friendships. So before I leave you, let's rewind a bit and go over everything. Pet ownership can be good for you because it teaches responsibility. It can be good for your health, both physically and mentally. It's good for your social life because it gives you opportunities to talk to other people and connect with them. Pet ownership can be very rewarding, but it's also tough. So make sure you're up for it.